Take a journey to a place so dear, where the mountains meet the sky and the lakes are clear. Lakeport's calling with charm in the air, a hidden treasure so lovely and rare. With clear lakes, waters, the oldest around, a peaceful escape where serenity's found. The whispers of nature, the beauty unfolds in Lake County's heart, a story retold. Discover Lakeport and beyond, where memories flourish and hearts respond. In every moment let the joy surround, from wine tasting tours to the trails unbound. Hiking up hills under skies so blue, with every sunset you'll know it's true. Life's an adventure just waiting for you. In Lakeport, California, let's start anew. Oh, oh, oh.
Welcome to Discover Lakeport and Beyond, broadcasting right here from beautiful Lakeport and reaching listeners throughout Lake County. We're your local connection to the people, places, and happenings that make our community so special. I'm your host, Marie Schrader, and I'm so glad you've joined us today. At the council, keeping us sounding our best, we have Danny Wynn. Thank you for joining us, Danny. Here's how the show works. Each episode, we welcome a guest into the studio to talk about something related to Lake County, whether it's local history, community projects, small businesses, events, public services, or the people who help make this county thrive. And this is your show, too. During the program, we'll be taking your calls. You can phone in to ask questions of our guests or to share information about upcoming events happening anywhere in Lake County. If it's going on in our community, we want to hear about it. So settle in, turn up the volume, and get ready to discover Lakeport and beyond. And our phone-in telephone number is 707-263-3435, and we'll be repeating that as we go. So I'm going to start off with some of the events coming up here this week here in Lakeport, and then I will get to the beyond part because there are so many things happening. It's Easter week, after all. So here in Lakeport, we have the First Friday Fling that's going to be happening at the new Visions Gallery, which is in the Silvera Center, and that's on April 3rd, Friday at 5:30 p.m. April 4th, we have another pickup for A Simple Gesture, which is the community food drive program that we do monthly, where you put a bag of groceries on your front doorstep and we will pick it up for you. It's not too late to sign up for this week. You can do that at the website www.joinasg.org. That's www.asg stands for A Simple Gesture.org. And we do that every month. It's a great way to keep our local community to help fight food insecurity in our local community. Let's see, we have the farmers market that is going to be happening on Saturday morning over at the Mercantile, and that goes from 10 to 1. And on April 4th, we also have the Easter Bunny at the Shoebox from 1 to 3. So you can bring your camera. It's free. Come take pictures with them. We also have a hike at Rodman Preserve on Saturday morning starting at 9 a.m. We have, I believe this is a fundraiser for KPFZ, the Tempest Celtic Rock concert at the Soparis Theater at 7 p.m. On Easter morning in Hobbiton Community Park at the pavilion there's going to be an Easter sunrise service starting at 6:45 p.m. or a.m. That would work out better for sunrise, I suppose, yes. On April 5th, we have the Lakeport Rotary Easter egg hunt at the Lake County Fairgrounds at 1:30 p.m. April 6th, we have the Lake County Quilt and Arts Fiber Club meeting at the fairgrounds from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and that's to help you get things ready if you want to enter them into the fair. Let's see here. So then we're going to, let's see here. So those are the things coming up just in Lakeport that are happening, and we'll move on to the other ones after I introduce my guest. I am so excited. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. Do we have Angelo Parisi here from the Taylor Observatory? And we had a grand discussion even before the show started already this morning, because I found out that Danny Wind also is into astronomy and has studied it. So that was my science in college. So Angela, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, and so Taylor, when I first found out that we had an observatory here in Lake County, I was so excited, because that we are so fortunate to have that. There are many, many, many communities that don't. And, I came from Sonoma County, so we had Sugarloaf, the
Robert Ferguson Observatory,
which is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I studied at the Santa Rosa Junior College, which had a planetarium inside that they no longer have.
Well, it's there, but they're not allowed to use it anymore.
Right, exactly. And now I found out that in Sonoma County, and we'll get to Lake County in a minute, but in Sonoma County at Piner High School, they had put in an observatory, or a planetarium. Yeah. I went to a show there, and I was shocked that they had one. So tell us what you know about the history of Taylor Observatory.
I know very little about the history of Taylor Observatory. And if anybody out there does, phone in and tell us.
Yes.
I know that it was first opened in 1980, and the planetarium came along in 1985. But apart from that,
not too
seems
much.
to be lost in the mists of time.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, I understand how that goes. Trust me. So tell us. I know that there are people out there probably won't understand much about the equipment that's inside the observatory, but tell us a little bit about that. How it works.
Well, excuse me. The observatory itself has a dome, like a classic dome, and underneath it there's some pretty new equipment. I mean, it's so new that we don't really know how to use it very well yet.
Oh my! You're still learning, huh?
Yeah, looking for somebody to really take the lead on it. It's a Roe Ackerman Schmidt astrograph, and we all know what that is, right? Yeah.
Right.
Of course. Well, it's the power of a telescope is really usually measured by how the diameter of its primary light gathering glass, either that be a lens or a mirror. This uses a mirror in an arrangement known as a Schmidt-Cassegrain. I don't know. There's some technical terms here.
Sure.
But this telescope itself has a 16-inch mirror, which is fairly large. It's designed specifically for taking photographs. Whoa. There is no place in this telescope you could look through an eyepiece. If you were to come to the observatory for a public event, we have telescopes where you could do that. But it takes fabulous pictures, and photographs bring out so much more detail than your eye could through any large glass. And any professional astronomer hasn't looked through an eyepiece probably since the 50s. So you can bring out a lot of detail. It has a really wide field of view. It's well designed for certain types of astronomy that survey the sky. People who are searching for comets and asteroids use telescopes like this.
Yeah.
But we have a high-resolution television screen in the classroom there, and so anything the telescope is looking at comes out onto that screen. We also have a planetarium.
Yeah.
That in the last 5 years has been upgraded to it's really fun. There's a 20-foot diameter to the dome, and for those who don't know what a planetarium is, and I've discovered that a lot of people aren't familiar with that term, but it's a special kind of a theater that projects on a domed ceiling what is in the sky. But it can take you anytime into the future, anytime into the past, any place on the Earth. But this planetarium can actually take you out into space or simulate that experience. So you can orbit the Earth, you can fly down over the Himalayan mountains if you want to, but also go off to other planets, the whole solar system, or even outside of the galaxy. So it's a lot of fun. We have kids come on field trips all the time, and it's like a ride at Disneyland. I feel very lucky to be the guy who gets to do that.
I would say that would be really, really fun to do. So how many people can fit inside there at any one time?
There's 32 seats.
32 seats.
Sometimes we bring in some chairs, but yeah, 32. Yeah.
And I have to say, they are comfortable seats. They recline.
Yes. So
because you're going to be looking up,
Exactly.
and they sit in a circle so that you can, and I think there's like 2 rows. Is that right? Does I remember correctly?
yeah, there's an inner circle and an outer circle.
Exactly. So it's really. I mean, I've been there a couple of times for events, and it's been so much fun, and really great information that you have. So let's talk a little bit about. We were discussing a lot of things prior to coming on air.
Cosmology, the meaning of life, everything.
That's right, cosmology. Oh my gosh, there's so much that is happening. I went to San Rosa Junior College and then Sonoma State, and astronomy was my science. And at the time that I went there, we had not even discovered that there were planets around other stars yet. So that's how long ago that was. And it was amazing that we had. I think during the time that I was in my upper division, we found one planet, and that just changed everything, absolutely everything. So we have so many different telescopes out there now that that are out there that are Earth-based. Let's talk a little bit about Earth-based telescopes. Do you know about it?
Do I know anything about it?
We've got the new one that's coming online, or that's down in Chile, I believe, somewhere down there. That's the Vera.
It's named after a woman. I should know this.
Vera. Oh, I forgot her last name now.
There's a lot to keep up on. I have heard of this telescope. I know that it surveys the sky regularly.
Yes.
So,
it's meant for surveying, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so it's way up on top of a mountain. Best telescopes are way up high because of the Earth's atmosphere interferes with observation.
Yeah. I mean, the light could be coming from something 15 million light years away, and nothing obstructs that light until it gets to that last 100 miles.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. So there was a dream to put telescopes in orbit for many, many, many years, until it actually became reality. But but you put a telescope on top of a mountain, and it's really the first just couple of miles that has most of the dust and most of the thick atmosphere. Right. So but then also looking through the atmosphere is like looking through water, and you imagine that you have you try to look into a swimming pool, to the bottom of the pool when people are swimming in it, and the water's all jumbled up, it's scattering the light around, and you can kind of tell where the drain is, maybe, but if no one's in the pool and the water's very still, you can see very clearly. Exactly. So on top of a mountain, in certain places, like the best place in the northern hemisphere would be the top of Mauna Kea in Hawaii. Oh, yeah. So not only are you separated from all the ambient light from cities, but you're at 14,000 feet and you're in the middle of the ocean. So you get a very steady airflow above that mountain. So you get a very clear view of the universe, and that's why they do it. In the southern hemisphere, the best places, well, depending on where you want to see, but in Chile, in the Atacama Desert, in the Andes Mountains, where you have the same sorts of conditions. Right. But also on a place on the Earth where the center of the galaxy passes directly overhead. So anything you're looking at directly overhead, you're looking through less atmosphere as well. Right. So you get a very clear view in that direction.
Right. Yes. So, I mean, we're coming up into summer, and in the summer we are looking towards the center of our galaxy, are we not?
Well, yes. When you see any given summer night, you have the Milky Way across, spanning the sky, and where we are, if you look to the south, you'll see the constellation Scorpio and Sagittarius, and there's a point there called Sagittarius A, and that's 30,000 light years in that direction. It would be the center of the galaxy. In the winter, we're looking more away.
Away, yeah. I know, because it's brighter in the summertime than it is in the wintertime, for sure.
The Milky Way,
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, my goodness, there's so many different types of telescopes out there. We've got radio telescopes, we've got infrared telescopes, we've got just light gathering telescopes, and so I think the biggest thing that I remember in my life is the Hubble, when Hubble got up there.
That was a big deal, yes.
Holy smokes.
And it was blurry at first. They had to build a contact lens for it. Or whatever they did, I don't know.
That was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. That's what they did. They built a contact lens and put it on over it and fixed it. Yeah.
They were able to service it using the space shuttle.
Yeah.
Something you cannot do with the new James Webb Space Telescope. So
no.
Everything did have to work perfectly on that one.
Yeah. And thank goodness it did. So is the James Webb further out?
Oh, much further out.
Is that right?
The Hubble telescope is in orbit around the Earth. The Hubble or the James Webb is beyond the moon. It's
really
it's about a million miles away from the Earth.
My goodness!
So there are these points called the Lagrange points, and they're sort of gravitational balance points that exist in any system, and any gravitational system where things are interacting, so there's a point beyond the moon. There's 5 Lagrange points, I guess, around the moon and the Earth. Where if you put something there, you can kind of keep it there using very little propellant to keep it balanced in that one spot.
Wow!
And that spot's ideal for the James Webb Space Telescope because it's looking into the infrared, the longest wavelengths, because they're looking as far back into time and space as is possible, and the wavelengths from that, as the universe expands, the further away something is, the more light is stretched out. So if you want to see these distant things, you look in the infrared, and that wavelengths are less interfered by intervening gas and dust and stuff like that. But the Earth and the Moon are putting off a lot of radiation as well. So if you're at a point where the Moon and the Earth and the Sun are always behind you, you can put a big shield to block the energy from there as well, and you get a very, very clear view of your infrared universe. So.
I'm always what's mind-boggling to me is to whenever I look when I look out in the night sky and see a star, that I'm looking back in time.
Yeah.
Because that's what it looked like when the light left that place.
Exactly.
Millions, in fact, sometimes billions of years ago.
Yes.
That's pretty astounding to me. In fact, to look and say some of those stars may not be there anymore in today's time. They could be gone.
We're waiting a while to see if they blow up. Supernova.
In all different times and distances too.
Exactly.
You've got ones that are very close and ones that are extremely far away, and everything in between. So.
And one of the things that is always kind of crazy to me is that our universe is expanding. And that is a given now, And so it used to be, the question was, will it stop expanding and collapse back in on itself? Just so any listener out there knows, not in your lifetime.
No, nothing to worry about. We're good for now.
I think we're good for a long time. Not in your lifetime, but would you explain how we know that it's expanding?
Oh, well, I'm no astrophysicist, but this
is Danny's.
We can tell the further something is away, the Doppler effect,
right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's a few different tells.
Yeah. The further something is away, the faster it's getting away from us.
Yeah,
and the more the light from that will be stretched out.
Yeah. I think the other thing with the cosmic magnetic background radiation is what we were talking about earlier with the Big Bang. It's like, how do we find the center?
Yeah.
And it's like, Well, there might be, but basically the way that cosmic magnetic background radiation works is that when the universe was very young, it was very hot. And then those particles expanded so quickly that now they're shooting off in every direction, right? We use the analogy of raisin bread, right?
Yeah.
And as that raisin bread expands, every little piece of raisin is getting further from every other raisin. And basically, because of that, when we look into any spot in our observable universe, we can see that cosmic magnetic background radiation, they're traveling in every direction. And so that's also how we kind of know there isn't a true center also, because it's coming from every direction. Sure, there might be a minor variance in it's coming from one direction more than another, but we don't have a good
A view of that.
observable portion of the universe because it's so vast. So
Exactly.
That's the long short.
Oh my.
And that expansion is accelerating.
Yes.
It's recently been
Yes.
discovered as well. So
It's mind-boggling. I mean, the whole thing is mind-boggling. But before we get too far, I want to bring up a couple of things that are happening around our community coming up here. One of them is starting today down in the city of Lakeport. Follow their page because they are hiding starting today and through Friday. 15 eggs are going to be hidden over these 5 eggs. Okay. It's adults only, and so they are hiding 3 eggs a day, I believe, and they have prizes in them somewhere in Clear Lake. And so what you need to do is follow their page and try to figure out where they are and go find them. And when they're found, let them know, and they will actually announce it. But it's all being done on Facebook, and it's adults only. Just to say, that's a really important thing to notice.
What are in the eggs then?
I don't know. They are not telling. They're not telling, but that's
in Lake County wine certificates.
Probably something like that.
Line, yeah.
So, and then on this Friday and Saturday is the trout derby over in Blue Lakes. So if you'd love to do trout fishing, there's some great prizes there. On this Saturday, the 4th, in Hobbiton Park, there's going to be an autism celebration, and that goes from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Let's see here. Clear Lake State Park, I just saw this morning. They just did this on April 4th, which is Saturday. They're having an Easter egg painting and dyeing over there. So go and join them there. Let's see. Twin Pine Casinos is having an Easter egg hunt on Saturday. Kelseyville Easter egg hunt is on Saturday. Let's see. Where is this one? Let's see here. I got to open that one to find out. Running Creek Casino is having an Easter egg hunt on Sunday beginning at 2:00. And let's see here. There is and spring break apparently is happening down in Clear Lake, and there's a spring break camp for ages TK to 8th grade. That's April 6th through the 9th at the Clear Lake Youth Center. There's a cost for that. So, if you need some help with camp, that's a really good place to go. So, okay, let's see. And by the way, I know that I talk fast, and I'm giving you a lot of information. So I'm very aware of this. There's just a lot happening in our community. But all of this will be on the website, discoverlakeportca.com. Just look under Discover Lakeport and Beyond, and I will have all this information on there that you can easily look it up, along with a copy of this recording on there as well. So give me a day or so to get all of that up in there, and you'll be able to get all the information on here. I will also make a Facebook post on Discover Lakeport CA about this information. So, okay, back to space, the final frontier as we know it, right? So let's talk about the distances, because we measure things in space in light years. Mm-hmm. And so, how fast does light travel?
Light travels at a 186,000 miles per second, or about 400,000 kilometers per second.
Whoa!
If you're a metric person.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah, very, very fast. Enough to
Right.
go around the Earth 7 or 8 times in a single second.
So when we see sunlight here, how long ago did it leave the sun?
A
I think
little
it's-
over 8 minutes.
That's what I thought.
So,
Yeah.
we're looking at the sun in the past.
Exactly.
Yeah. The moon, too, but only by about a second.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
So hard to get up-to-date news these days.
That is the truth.
So the distances between stars are so vast. If you were to measure them in miles, the numbers are just too large to work with.
Exactly.
So I mean, the nearest star is about 25 trillion miles away. Okay, so I mean, you can write out all of those zeros, or you can come up with a new unit of measurement, right?
Yes. So and what we were talking about this prior to the show, Voyager was launched back in
77.
77.
Yeah.
And it is going to be, I believe, in 2026, it's going to be approaching 1 light day
Yes.
away from us.
After moving at 40 or 50,000 miles an hour for 50 years, it's finally going to be 1 light day away. Yeah, there's a vast empty nothingness forever in every direction from our planet. I mean, you can see these stars, but
Kind of a hot, empty nothingness.
Very hot, empty nothing. A very dangerous empty nothing up there because
Yeah.
then what people don't realize is that, or maybe you don't realize, is that our protection is our atmosphere.
Bubble.
and our magnetic field.
And our magnetic field.
Yeah.
And so, we've been very fortunate in the last year or so that we've actually seen northern lights here.
Absolutely,
Where we hardly ever see northern lights here, and so where you're saying that cameras can pick up more light, and people were constantly asking me how can you get these pictures? Because if you use your phone can capture more light in that sky than your eyes can, and you will see it with that much quicker than that than if you are just looking. So by all means, please use your phone.
Yeah, and take it if they tell you that there's going to be aurora, take the time, make the effort, because it's
Absolutely.
rare. I've been an astronomy nut for the last 40 years, and
Yeah.
until this last year, I've never seen the aurora in California.
I know. Yeah.
And the sun goes through an 11-year cycle, and right now it's at what they call solar maximum. A lot of the times it's very quiet as suns go. I mean, of course, it's like a nuclear furnace, but it has a very strong magnetic field, and for some reason, the north and south pole of the sun flip every 11 years or so. And as it's going through that process, the magnetic field lines kind of got all twisted up on themselves, and
Yeah.
you have these bursts of energy that come flying off the sun, these coronal mass ejections.
They are amazing lately. I've seen pictures of them, and they're, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. I mean, a large enough one could. I mean, we're safe from them here
Yeah.
on the surface, but our satellites are kind of vulnerable. I mean,
Yeah.
and a large enough one might set us back a few years. But
I read the book by Meacham, Space.
it's the only one of his books I ever read.
Oh my gosh, and of course it's historical fiction,
Yeah,
but it had, after my background in astronomy, it had some really good information in there, like that if our astronauts are out there at the wrong time, there could be some issues,
Yeah, they're monitoring space weather all the time. Of course, we've got people in the space station continuously.
Yeah.
and they get warnings now and then, and there's a spot that's more shielded on the space station, and they all go huddle in there and wait for it to pass.
Is that right? I did not know
happens, yeah.
that.
That happens, yeah.
I did not know that. Wow, there's just so much that when we talk about space, but let's talk about the moon. Going to the moon, Artemis.
Oh, Artemis, yes. Hopefully that will happen.
Yeah.
I feel bad for these 4 astronauts. They've been getting all hyped up to go to the moon, and they get really close, and everything has to be perfect, really.
Absolutely.
So we don't want to risk their lives.
No.
Well, they're risking their lives anyway. It's always dangerous. But
Always.
If all goes well, 2 days from now, on Wednesday afternoon at about 3:24 Pacific Daylight Time, this enormous rocket will lift 4 astronauts well, first into orbit for the first 24 hours, where they're going to be checking out systems and making sure everything works right. And then off to the moon and around the moon and back home on a 10-day mission. Just
unbelievable.
yeah.
So
what's
this one
really unbelievable to me is that so few people seem to be aware that this is happening.
It just, the news cycle is so clogged with other things. I think that we would have on a normal news cycle, I think we would have seen more about it. Because I think, you and I were alive when they landed on the moon, but Danny wasn't.
It's getting to be a long time ago.
And I remember where I was. I remember watching it on TV. We all talked about this prior to the show. And the amazing, how many missions made it to the moon?
Six.
Six
landed on the moon. There were three others that got to the moon, but they didn't land.
Right.
And there was Apollo 8 was the first one in 1968 to circle the moon and come back. Apollo 10, they were testing out all the equipment. They got there. They even separated the lunar module and flew over the surface, but didn't land, just to make sure it all works, But then there was Apollo 11, 12, 13 had a mishap and barely made it home alive.
Yep.
But then 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way through 1972, they were landing on the moon. Yeah.
It became almost commonplace.
Yes, I can remember it being on television when I was in middle school, and people weren't really watching it.
No.
It was like, oh yeah, they're on the moon again?
Yeah,
they do that. Okay.
I remember when they first landed, people were actually going outside to see if they could see them. That's a long way away, folks. You won't be able to see them.
I get questions all the time. Like somebody asked me just the other night, through your telescope, can you see the flag? I don't think you really realize just how far away that is.
That is a long way away. Oh my goodness!
But the landing sites have been sighted. Not from the Earth, but there's been an orbiting observatory around the moon for years now called the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter.
Oh, I did not know that.
And photographing and mapping the moon in great detail. And from orbit on the moon, they can photograph the landing sites. You can see the descent stages and the tracks the rover made. And it's all kind of blurry, but it's clearly there.
Yeah, there's no wind on the moon to disrupt any of that.
No.
It's amazing.
No erosion.
Unless it's hit by an asteroid. There was a really amazing video that I saw it on YouTube. It was in the daytime and the moon and an asteroid that hit, and you could see the dust coming off.
That wasn't real.
Well, that wasn't real?
That wasn't real.
Oh, geez. And this AI stuff is just getting a little bit much. You know that.
It's distressing in some way. I see this stuff like I'm on social media like everybody else, and I belong to certain groups, where I can get reliable information, but somehow it ties me in with the people, the flat Earth people, and all the AI, and I can generally see right through them, but it's getting harder and harder to see. I have a pretty good knowledge base. I can see the obvious ones. But it distresses me because people are looking at these things.
Exactly. So, it's very interesting because when you look at the moon, all of the pockets that you see on there are asteroids that have hit the moon. And you look at that and say, how come they haven't hit the Earth? And they have. But we have an atmosphere where the moon does not have an atmosphere.
Right.
And so the small ones are burning up in the atmosphere. We hope that nothing comes like the dinosaur one, And I know that we're tracking big asteroids and that sort of thing out there that could.
There's more and more resources being committed to searching for asteroids all the time.
Absolutely.
And they're ones that they call potentially hazardous objects, PHOs, foes.
Okay.
But the Earth has been hit by a lot of asteroids. But most of the impact craters that you see on the moon are billions of years old. There was early in the solar system's formation, there was a lot of debris that was floating out there, and it was getting sucked up by anything that had the gravity to pull it in.
Sure.
And so the Earth got hit by just as many. But we have processes on Earth that erase those asteroids.
Absolutely.
We have erosion and plate tectonics and volcanoes, and the Earth's surface is being resurfaced all the time. It's really hard to find any part of the Earth's original crust.
Yes.
That's why studying the moon was so meaningful. Of it, like the entire history is written on the surface.
Yeah.
There's been nothing to erase it. So by picking apart what happened to the moon, you can get a pretty clear idea.
The moon was a part of the Earth originally, was it not?
That's the leading theory right now.
Yeah.
It was impacted by a Mars-sized object early on. Yeah.
A Mars-sized object.
Okay.
Yikes.
Well, yeah, Mars is a small planet as planets go.
Yes, I suppose you could say that.
But
anyway.
yeah, the debris from that splashed off the planet and coalesced to form the moon. Part of it did.
Right.
There's computer simulations that show you how that could happen.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, that's pretty amazing. So, holy cow! So let's see here. Well, we've hit
Marie,
Yes.
do we maybe want to take a moment just to do a couple of our promos? And then just
Absolutely.
take a moment break? Okay.
There you
and
go.
then we'll get
Okay.
right back into it.
All right.
Good news, everyone. We are going 24 hours. That's right, 24-hour programming on KPFZ. Can you believe it? My gosh, what a milestone we've hit. I can't believe we've come so far so fast in so little of time. It's just amazing to me. Wow. Left a few, gained a few, friends that is. Our pleasure to be here, ladies and gentlemen. Community radio at its best. 24-hour programming coming your way with more things to say every day in a beautiful way. My goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, more different programming, more comedy, more drama, more talk shows, more music, more everything on KPFZ. Check it out. 24-hour programming. Oh my goodness.
Celtic rock band Tempest returns to the Soper Reese Theater on Saturday, April 4th. Doors open at 6:30 and the show starts at 7 p.m. Get your tickets by going to thesoperreesetheater.com. Tickets are $25 in advance and $30 at the door. This is a benefit for KPFZ. So come dance the night away with Tempest on April 4th and support KPFZ, Lake County Community Radio.
Okay, we are back. So, one of the things that I found out today that I did not know, that you can check out a telescope from the library. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Again, one of the many things that you can get with your library card, including a state park pass, that you can check out as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Who knew?
Who knew? I know. They've got all kinds of things over there that they can do. So if someone wants help with their telescope, can you help out there?
Put me on the spot here. I would be happy to help people with their telescopes, and I do often. There isn't one scheduled, but we in the works, I would say. We are planning at the Taylor Observatory to have a day where people can bring their telescopes out. And if they're not in working order, see what we can do to get them working. Or if you got one for Christmas, or you inherited one from someone and you really just don't know you're having trouble getting started with it, we'll have that scheduled soon.
Awesome.
You've inspired me to.
I think it's a great idea. There, especially summer coming up. We can. But then again, the light lasts longer, so that brings you into really late at night.
It does. I mean, as far as observational astronomy, unless you want to stay up all night, the real good times are the spring and the fall.
Yes.
Because in the winter, the weather is pretty unreliable and it's cold outside anyway.
Right.
And there's probably a lot of moisture in the air, so it condenses on your optical surfaces, and you just can't wipe it off because telescopes are delicate that way.
Yes.
And and then in the summer, you got to wait until maybe 11 o'clock at night before it's really dark.
Exactly. Exactly.
So this is prime time right now,
Oh.
April, May. Yeah.
So our observable universe that we see, in our night sky, are we actually seeing outside of our own galaxy?
Well, with the unaided eye, you can see one other galaxy besides the stars that are observable, the 2,000 or so that you can really see with a normal set of eyes. Most of them are within about 100 light years. And they're all within our galaxy.
Right.
Sort of counterintuitively, a lot of the brightest stars are among the farthest away.
Yes.
I found that interesting myself when I sort of put that together, because the stars come in all sizes, from tiny little yellow dwarfs like our star.
Yep.
It may surprise you to learn that our star is just kind of an average, very small star.
Exactly.
But then there's ones that are thousands of times bigger and thousands of times brighter.
Exactly.
And very far away, and still are very bright in our sky.
Right.
But as far as other galaxies, there's a neighboring large spiral galaxy called the Andromeda Galaxy. And that's about, as close as galaxies go, it's about 2.5 million light years away. But you can see that without a telescope. You just have to know where to look and what you're seeing.
Yeah.
In the southern hemisphere, you can see the Magellanic Clouds. Those are what are called dwarf galaxies or regular galaxies.
Right.
They're about maybe 10% the size of the Milky Way.
Yeah.
But they're pretty prominent in the southern hemisphere, and you can't see them up here, though.
Yeah. So our star, as I look up in the sky, I always see, especially in the wintertime, you see, Orion.
Oh, yeah.
The Orion constellation is really easy to pick out. And the upper left, right shoulder is Betelgeuse.
Betelgeuse, yes.
Which is a star that's a red star. Isn't that a star that's in its dying stages?
Yes, and it's it's a. I'm not sure exactly what the classification star is, but it's among the largest. It's one of these super Piper giant type stars. And one of the last stages in a star's life is, when it starts burning heavier elements, as the outer part of the star expands greatly, and eventually that star will explode in a supernova explosion, and its light will rival all the other stars in the galaxy for a couple of weeks.
And you'll probably see it during the daytime if it's out during the day.
There was the last supernova visible from Earth. I think it was in the year 1510.
Wow.
I could be wrong with that, but you could see it during the day. At night, it cast shadows.
Wow.
That's how bright it was. And Betelgeuse is fairly close as stars go. I think it's about 600 light years away. That could have happened 600 years ago, and we wouldn't find out about it until just now. But it might not. It might not happen for another 1 million years or 2 million years.
That is just incredible. And our own sun, eventually our own sun will have the same fate, and it will expand, and engulf even in the Earth, and all the near planets.
There's a little debate as to just how far it will expand, whether it will engulf the Earth. But it's going to get hotter and brighter as it gets older too. And before then, it'll become too hot for anything to live on Earth. But,
right.
But our star won't explode.
No. It'll collapse.
What will happen? Stars are sort of like balancing acts. It's like you've got all of this matter compressed so tightly together in the center that the atoms are fusing together, and that releases energy. So that makes it like a nuclear bomb that's going off. But stars are so massive that the gravity keeps it all contained, and that balance can exist for billions of years, but eventually you're going to run out of atoms to fuse together. So the gravity is still there, and gravity wins. So
yes, it does.
The core of the star will collapse, and how far it collapses depends on how massive the star was. In the case of our star, it'll be stopped by electron degeneracy pressure. I'm looking at you. Am I getting this right?
I think so. It's been a while.
Okay. And so you'll end up, the center won't become a neutron star or a black hole or any of these more exotic things. It'll become what's called a white dwarf,
right?
Which is mostly like carbon, and it's so dense. It's like half the mass of the sun compressed into something the size of the Earth. Right? So it'll be very hot, and it'll continue to put out energy for a long, long time. And the outer part of the star expands out into space. And the energy from that white dwarf interacts with that expanding shell, and you get what's called a planetary nebula.
That's amazing.
Which has nothing to do with planets. It's just hundreds of years ago when people first saw them through telescopes. I had no idea what they were. They weren't stars, but they had sort of a disc shape. So kind of look, we'll call them planetary nebula.
Sure.
But there's so many of them, and you look through telescopes, and they're all different shapes and all different colors. And, beautiful type thing. That's what our fate will be 5 billion years from now or something.
Not at our time scale.
We're fine.
Yeah,
we're fine.
We're good for now. Yeah,
we're good for now. So when is the next show you're going to have at the planetarium?
It'll be a week from Friday.
Week from Friday
at 7:30.
Yeah.
You can go to the Lake County Office of Education's calendar, or I guess Discover Lakeport. You must have some sort of link.
I do.
And that one will just I do shows at the planetarium about twice a month. I try to get them usually on Friday or Saturday night, and if there's something topical in the news, like recently I did one on the Artemis program.
Yes, you did.
And the next one's just going to be something I try to do quarterly, which I call Stars of the Season.
Nice.
So what we'll do is in the planetarium, see what's in the sky that night, talk about it, mix in a little music, a little myth, and science, and then give everybody a star map, show them how to use it, go outside and pull out the telescopes and take a look. There's another show that I want to publicize on Earth Day on April 22nd, which I haven't told you about yet.
No, you haven't.
I'll get it out there right away. I used to be in an astronomy band, a children's astronomy band. We called ourselves the Big Bang Band Traveling Star Show. It was great fun. And shout out to Matt Gardner and Terry England. The three of us had a lot of fun for years going into elementary schools on Friday nights, and we had a whole set of astronomy songs and sing-along, and we had activities and telescopes and all of this.
Oh, nice.
And Terry England and I are going to be performing in the planetarium, doing our shows and doing our songs and using the planetarium to...
How wonderful.
That'll be on Earth Day, so
nice.
That's coming up as well.
I remember years ago at Costco, I got, it was a set of CDs that was space. And trust me, all you needed was one, because it was just recordings from like the International Space Station or, something like that of what it sounds like in space. And it's pretty generic and consistent, and one was enough. But they sold it a set of 5.
Well, some people can't get enough.
That was pretty funny. I kept putting them in, going, okay, well,
It's like background music.
Exactly. It's very much.
I put stuff like that on in the planetarium sometimes when people are arriving.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for someone who doesn't know what it sounds like out there, it's pretty interesting, but not 5 CDs worth. No. That was my issue, kind of thing. So it was pretty funny. So, okay, a couple more things that I want to mention here. Coming up, the Discover Lakeport CA is doing the citywide yard sale at the end of April. Make sure you sign up. It is a free service for anybody who has a Lakeport address, and it is the biggest yard sale of the year. So it is free to sign up. We advertise to 5 different counties. Hundreds of people come for this, because when you get that many yard sales in one place, people make the trek and they come to Lakeport. So we expanded it this year to 3 days, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You don't have to participate all 3 days. You set your own hours on there. So put that on your calendar and sign up for that. The City of Lakeport is going to be having their spring cleanup day on Saturday, April 11th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. down at the 5th Street boat ramp, where anybody that has a Lakeport address and that has, you have to show proof of residency in Lakeport, you can drop things off there. And the information on this is on the City of Lakeport Facebook page, the Discover Lakeport CA Facebook page, all of that kind of stuff. And if you are a person who loves our county, consider becoming a CTA, a Certified Tourist Ambassador. They have a training coming up on April 18th, and you can find that information online as well. But that's it's put on by the Lake County Chamber of Commerce, but it's the Tourism Ambassador, and it's a lot of fun to do.
I'm a CTA.
I'm a CTA too. Yes, I am. Yep, absolutely. Oh, there's one more. This is very interesting. There's a new thing called Farmwood Presents that is doing a plant swap in Hobbiton Park on Friday, April 10th from 4 p.m. till dark. You to bring your extra plants, cuttings, seeds, and seedlings to share and swap with other people, and all are welcome. So, so it is spring. Go and get some plant starts that you might need by swapping with other people. It's pretty awesome that way. Okay, let's see here. And one more. There's Clear Lake Oaks Moose Lodge is doing a ham dinner on. This is on April 11th. For anyone down there, and it's at 5 p.m. So that's a really, really cool place to go as well. So let's see. So there are so many directions that you can go, literally, and I'm sorry to make that, when it comes to talking about astronomy, I mean, it goes everywhere, right? And we are so minuscule by comparison to everything out there. But in our own, I mean, we can talk, within our own solar system, we can talk, the stellar on the stellar level, which is the universe level, but I've been watching some videos. YouTube has got some great James Webb videos out there and information about what they're finding, and I follow those pages. I think every night I see a video from them, and I'm just astounded at the stuff that they're seeing, on the infrared wavelength. That's pretty amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And the engineering that goes into that.
Oh, my goodness,
the
yes.
telescope had to assemble itself, It had to fit into a rocket fairing, and then it's a very expansive kind of thing.
There's a whole video on how that exactly happened.
Yes.
And I was just amazed, So bravo to our scientists and our engineers out there that can actually envision this and do that. That is pretty remarkable.
I bow before them.
Yes.
It's just amazing what they can do. Yeah.
But it's
landing rovers on Mars and
oh my goodness, yes. And and you were saying that they found the traces of life on Mars. Is that correct?
They think what might be a sign that early, very primitive life had started on Mars. And one thing that has been determined is that in the ancient past, billions of years ago, the environment on Mars was a lot more similar to Earth.
Right.
It had a thick atmosphere. There was it rained. There were lakes. There were rivers.
Wow.
All of this, and the conditions on Earth were about the same at that point in time, and when bacteria and the very simplest forms of life were first emerging on the Earth. So the thought is, well, if that was happening here, well, maybe that was happening there before conditions changed. That's the benefit of having a magnetic field. It protects you from the solar wind, and eventually what happened to Mars' atmosphere, well, Mars being a smaller planet, it cooled off faster, and the engine that drives a magnetic field just stopped working.
Right.
And the solar wind eventually just eroded away the atmosphere until there wasn't the atmospheric pressure to have liquid on the surface or whatnot. So, excuse me. Do I press this button when I... Okay. So where the most recent rover landed, there's two operating on the surface right now, but the Perseverance rover is in a place called Jezero Crater where there had been a lake.
Oh.
And there's a really well-preserved river delta where it came in, and this is the kind of place where life might have... It's a likely place if it happened at all.
Right.
And so this rover's been, driving around on the surface. It's covered something like 25 miles over the last 5 years. It's, examining, it's able to tell what things are made of and drill into surfaces and whatnot. And they made an announcement, it was maybe 6 months ago or so, and they put out these pictures where in just the kind of place where you'd expect it to be, in some sort of mud layer, there's these dots. They show these dots. I'm not a biologist or anything, but the chemicals that they're seeing within these little dots on this rock kind of only exist on Earth through biological processes, you know, and they say that there's ways that they could otherwise, but it would require conditions that have never existed in this place. So, of course, we don't know everything, but the Perseverance rover is able to drill these little core samples and store them on board. And it wouldn't be until we could get this back to Earth that we would know for sure.
Is it supposed to come back to Earth?
Well, there's the Mars return mission, which is going to land something right there in the crater, and then the rover will drive up to it and transfer it. But funding for that was just cut. So it's just there waiting on the surface for some administration to think it's important enough.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, interestingly enough is that I every 4th of July, I introduce people to light signatures of elements. And I have fireworks classes. And I had gotten those, and so I say, watch the fireworks, because you can tell, you know, it has the signature in the the firework of what that element is, you know, and it's really, people are really amazed by that.
I did that chemistry experiment in high school. Where it's like you go and you stick a little stick with the different elements on it, and you get to see which ones burn different colors. Like, ooh, it's really cool, and you get to see like a green one or something.
Yeah, we do that in Taylor too. Can I mention a couple of things before we run out of time?
Please.
You know, Taylor Observatory, besides the evening events and whatnot, what happens more than anything else is we have kids come on field trips during the day, which is great fun. But that's, you know, contact the Office of Education. It's free for anybody in any school in Lake County to come to the Taylor Observatory. Sometimes we get students from outside the county, usually from Ukiah or Willits or something, but, you know, and the fee is minimal too. So so I wanted to mention that. And we also do outreach to elementary schools too. We'll come to you, you know.
Very good.
With Lego robotics and different types of things. So thank you to the Lake County Office of Education.
Absolutely.
And Brock Falkenberg in particular for being so supportive of the Taylor Observatory. I mean, I love what I do, and I have never felt more supported in a job. You know?
That is wonderful.
And to the Friends of Taylor Observatory, the nonprofit that supports us. The telescope was paid for. The new telescope was paid for mostly by the Friends of Taylor Observatory.
Oh, how wonderful! And can you become a friend of the Taylor Observatory?
Well, you know, we have a really bad website, but no, we've got a new one that's under construction. I really hope that it would be online before this actual radio broadcast, but it's coming together beautifully.
We'll announce it when it happens.
And you can, but you can go to friendsoftaylor.org and click on their calendar to find out what's happening there as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. So I just want to say that we have, we're at the end of our time. I want to thank you so much, Angela. This has been wonderful.
Well, it's been my pleasure.
And so Monday we have another show, and it's going to be Julie McGovern from the Mendocino College. So join us at 9:00 on Monday. This is that fifth Monday thing, so I have 2 in a row. So join us then. And thank you, everyone, so much for joining us on Discover Lakeport and beyond. Thank you.
Come take a journey to a place so dear, where the mountains meet the sky and the lakes are clear. Lakeport's calling with charm in the air, a hidden treasure so lovely and rare, with clear lakes waters, the oldest around, a peaceful escape.